Alright guys, so I am following Paula Henderson's lead. This is about hearty and healthy, and we are keeping it as hearty and as healthy as we can. So I swear by Regal's Quinoa. It really is simple. It comes together perfectly every time I do it. You literally have a cup of quinoa, top with water just above the level of the quinoa, bring it to a boil, allow it just to reduce the heat and allow it to simmer just for about 10 minutes or so, and you get perfect quinoa every single time, and you just fluff it nicely, and that's what you get. Yeah, perfect quinoa, guys, and trust me, one of the key things with quinoa is to wash the quinoa out before you use it. There's a little slight bitterness, I think, just if you don't wash it out properly. So before you actually boil the quinoa, wash it thoroughly, wash it properly, and then you put it in your pot and bring to a boil. I am doing, guys, for the kids, so I'm getting kids to eat quinoa. Trust me on this one. I have a pot that's getting nice and hot here, and I am doing a sausage quinoa medley. They're gonna love it. It's almost like a paella, yeah, like a Mexican paella kind of thing, but you're switching out the rice and you're serving quinoa. And we have some wonderful, whatever hot dogs you have, sausages you have, some nice vegetables, and they're gonna love it. Let's pull this together very, very simply. I have some onions that I'm starting with. Onions straight into my hot pan. We'll allow that just about a minute or so just to come together. And let me explain to you what I have here. So I'm gonna add to the onions some peppers, some nice red peppers, whatever peppers, if you have green peppers, yellow peppers, just some nice sweet peppers you can add there. I have some mushrooms, some hot dogs, and some corn. So this is going to be a nice colorful dish that's going to make quinoa pop. This one, as I said, brought to you by the folks at Regal Quinoa. I swear by Regal Quinoa, guys. So my onions getting nice and translucent. Once you start to smell the onions, you know you're in business. So I'm adding my peppers to the onions. And everything, all the vegetables will start to just cook gradually. Once the peppers go, I can now add the mushrooms. I mean, everybody know, some kids are funny, some people may not like the mushrooms, you can leave out the mushrooms. But yeah, so the vegetables, you can mix the vegetables however you want, whatever you have on hand. So you allow that to sear, give that about 2 to 3 minutes, and then we will season it up and get ready to pull everything together. Looking great. At this stage, I'm going to season. So just some salt, some pepper, and I'm having some good old green seasoning, some good old Trini green seasoning. So this is really a mixture of chive, celery, shadon, beni, some pimento peppers, full of flavor, and you mix that in there. So I'm bringing all my vegetables to one side. And at this stage, I'm doing that because I want these hot dogs to sear nicely. So I'm gonna get those hot dogs down there on one side of my pot and get a nice sear on my hot dogs. I have a mix of chorizo and hot dogs here that I'm using. You wanna cut nice big size pieces so that the kids will see, oh, there's hot dogs in this dish. So they won't even recognize they're eating quinoa just in case they don't like the quinoa. And you just get everything kind of searing there. So I just want to, as I said, flip the hot dogs now, kind of cooks and comes together nicely. I've been learning, as I said, Paula Henderson does it all the time. She kind of just shows you how quickly and easy it is to slip in vegetables into things that the kids will like. The kids are home, they're studying, homeschooling. When you pull them off and they get a little recess or a little lunch break, they need something that will brighten them up a little bit because they're home. We've all been dealing with this in different ways, and the kids dealing with it in their own way. At this stage, guys, we can mix everything together now. The sausages are all nice and seared. Mix everything together, and I'm gonna add some corn. Kids love corn. So I'm just gonna add about a half cup of corn there and toss the corn together. The corn goes in last. Toss the corn together and let that do its thing for just another minute or two. So I am ready to add my quinoa. So one pot business happening here. I can just add my quinoa. So I'm adding half of this just so I can get a proper mixture. So you mix the quinoa in to all that wonderful flavor that was building there. Sausages and the peppers and the mushrooms. I season in layers. Very, very important. So at this stage, I can give it another nice sprinkle of salt, some pepper, and just finally, I have some fresh shadow beni that I will just throw in there. Cilantro, you may know it as. And yeah, you just sprinkle that just at the last minute. Toss it all together. We are ready to serve this up, guys. They're gonna see that hot dog in there and they're gonna think, wow, mommy, what is that? Only you would know it's the greatest power food on earth at this point in time. Quinoa with some lovely hot dogs and vegetables all mixed in there. And as I like to say, come and get it, kids. Lunch is served. Let me get a quick bite of that just to make sure. Get some hot dog, some quinoa. Oh my goodness. That's good stuff. That is good stuff. We're coming back. I have a dessert to do to finish things off. Come on back. Home Sweet Home is brought to you in part by Regal Products.